So today's review is something very unique, Mancera Red Tobacco. So I've heard quite a lot about this one, and I'm actually pretty excited to try it because I'm always excited to try tobacco fragrances. So this came out in 2017. It's a unisex fragrance, and it's definitely more on the expensive side. It's kind of a super luxury fragrance, but I'm gonna try it, see if it's worth the hype. So let's see. Alright, right off the bat, this is a very unique fragrance, something kind of interesting. It has these kind of contrasting notes. The top notes, there's quite a few of them: cinnamon, oud, incense, saffron, nutmeg, green apple, and white pear. So I would say the opening is definitely a little bit sweet and a little bit smoky. So I can imagine, well, obviously the smokiness is from the incense, and the oud comes out right away. Oud is, a really delicious, warm, and slightly musky wood note, mixed with a little bit of cinnamon and those fruit notes. The nutmeg gives it a nice little bit of spice, not too much, but definitely noticeable. Yeah, definitely. The strongest notes here are, I would say, the oud, the nutmeg, and the incense. And the sweetness most likely comes from the fruit notes, the apple, and the pear. The middle notes, there's only two of them: patchouli and jasmine. The jasmine could also contribute a little bit to that sweetness, but jasmine also has kind of a warmer tone to it, and this fragrance definitely has a pretty warm tone to it. Then, of course, going into the base notes, you have the tobacco, which is in the title of this fragrance's name. Madagascar vanilla, amber, guaiac wood, sandalwood, white musk, and Haitian vetiver. So these are all really great notes. This fragrance is kind of like a wall of scent. It's really, like, you can't avoid it. It's just this beautiful wafting scent. And the vetiver is quite strong, which I'm surprised about, because usually when there's a vetiver note, it's kind of really distant. Sometimes you can't even really smell it, just kind of in the background to add a little bit of warmth. But this is unique because that vetiver is very strong, has a certain warm dryness to it. Then I would also say, obviously the tobacco is a very, very powerful note here, and it's nice because it has a very intense fiery warmth, even I would say warmer than the incense note, and it complements the oud note really, really well. It's definitely a really unique kind of mixture of different notes. And then coming in with the Madagascar vanilla, that adds a very unique type of sweetness. And again, we're not really going for a sugary sweet sort of thing here, especially since this is a unisex fragrance. This is more of a warm, natural sweetness that you get from that vanilla, which is very attractive. Then, of course, you have the wood notes, the sandalwood and the guaiac wood, which further add to the general warmth of this fragrance, and, of course, also complement the oud in the top notes. But definitely this is a strong fragrance. This is on the smokier side, but the incense isn't overpowering. It's kind of the wood notes, then those smokier tobacco notes that really create this scent. And I do like the little bit of sweetness that it has. I would say it's slightly sweeter than your typical unisex scent, but still not so sweet that it's more of a stereotypically feminine scent. Still right there in the middle for the unisex kind of realm of things. Now, the longevity and the sillage and just kind of its general performance. This is, you could tell right off the bat, as soon as you spray it, this is a very intense, powerful fragrance. This is not messing around. As soon as you put it on, it has great projection. I can already kind of smell it just branching out into the room, and that's really, really good if you want to, just get people aware of what kind of scent you're wearing. you know, you want to get those compliments, you want to get that attention with your fragrance, this is definitely one that will stand out because of its unique notes. There are many types of tobacco fragrances, but this one does the unique thing where it has the tobacco but also has a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of woodsiness, and that sort of thing. So it definitely stands out, and it's not really the go-to fragrance for most people. You know, most people will go for more of the typical, more popular mainstream fragrances. But this is a little bit more on the niche side of things, so it, you know, stands out extra. And I would say the longevity, it's definitely very impressive. I would say probably 8 hours. The heavy notes that it has with the tobacco and the oud and the wood notes, those are all heavy just naturally, and they'll last a really long time. So this fragrance, you can expect it to last quite a while. And again, the sillage, the projection, both really, really good. It leaves a really nice scent trail, and it's just a nice fragrance overall, especially if you enjoy tobacco and wood notes, because I would say the strongest notes out of the entire fragrance are, of course, the tobacco, but also the oud, because it's such a naturally intense note with its kind of natural muskiness, natural warmth, and very unique smell. You know, there's not many things that smell like oud, so once you smell it, you know, this is exactly what it is, what it's supposed to be. So this is definitely something. It's a little bit more of an evening fragrance, I would say, especially since it's, again, more on the expensive side. And I would also say it's really, really nice for cold weather, especially now it's autumn, it's gonna go into winter. This is a very kind of cozy, warm, yet attractive scent for both men and women. So it's very versatile. It's also obviously a very high quality scent. You could tell that as soon as you put it on. And the thing I like about it is how it blends these really different notes with each other. Because, you know, the green apple and the white pear, for instance, and then you mix that with the oud, you mix that with the vanilla, the tobacco, different types of wood. So you're really getting this really interesting mix of really drastically different notes. You put them all together, and, you know, sometimes you might not expect them to work well together, and then they do, so it's an extra bonus there. And overall, this is definitely a very well-crafted fragrance, and I mean, I definitely really enjoy it. It's something, again, unique. But that is pretty much what I have to say about Mancera Red Tobacco. If you liked this video and thought this review was helpful, of course you can leave a comment, a like, or maybe subscribe. And I make videos throughout the week, so don't forget those.